Hey there, beautiful soul. Welcome back to another episode of MindShift Media, where we talk about growth, mindset, healing, and everything in between that helps you live with more intention, clarity, and inner peace. I'm your host, Teodor, and I've got a question for you today. When was the last time you truly did something for yourself? Not out of obligation, not to please others, but purely for your well-being. Let that sink in for a second. Because in a world that glorifies being busy and rewards productivity over presence, we've somehow started wearing exhaustion like a badge of honor. But what if I told you that taking care of yourself isn't selfish? It's actually one of the most selfless things you can do. In today's episode, we're diving deep into the importance of self-care and, maybe more importantly, how to actually make time for it. Yes, even when life feels like a never-ending to-do list. So grab your favorite drink, cozy up, and let's talk about healing from the inside out. Let me start by sharing a story. A few years ago, I had a friend. Let's call her Maya. Maya was the person everyone leaned on. She was the go-to girl for advice, always said yes when someone needed help, and juggled work, family, and personal projects like a superhero. But behind closed doors, she was burning out, fast. One day, Maya broke down. She admitted she hadn't had a day off in 3 months. She was constantly tired, anxious, and couldn't remember the last time she felt joy. The truth is, you can't pour from an empty cup. Self-care is not a luxury. It's not a reward you give yourself after you've handled everything else. It's the foundation. It's how you stay emotionally, mentally, and physically resilient. According to a 2022 study by the American Psychological Association, nearly 79% of adults reported symptoms of stress, fatigue, headaches, insomnia, and yet less than half engaged in consistent self-care practices. Let that sink in. We know we're overwhelmed, and yet we still struggle to press pause. But why is that? Well, one reason is guilt. We feel guilty for slowing down. Another reason? We think self-care requires a weekend retreat in Bali or an expensive spa day. But let me tell you, real self-care is way more accessible and powerful than that. Let's clear something up. Self-care isn't always glamorous. Sometimes it's journaling in silence. Sometimes it's saying no when you've always said yes. Sometimes it's going to therapy, cooking a nourishing meal, or simply going to bed at a decent hour. Think of self-care as a spectrum, from micro moments of mindfulness to larger lifestyle shifts. Here's a simple way to categorize it. Physical self-care, movement, nutrition, sleep, hydration. Emotional self-care, boundaries, therapy, journaling, crying when you need to. Mental self-care, reading, learning, meditating, reducing screen time. Spiritual self-care, prayer, nature walks, gratitude practice, meditation. Social self-care, spending time with people who uplift you, or saying no to energy drainers. You don't have to check every box every day. The point is to listen to what your body and mind need and respond with compassion. All right, let's get practical. You might be nodding along thinking, yes, I need this, but my schedule is crazy. How do I actually make time? Here are 5 doable strategies to start carving out time for yourself. 1. Audit your time. Track how you spend your day. Just for 2 to 3 days. Use your phone's screen time tracker. Notice the time spent on autopilot scrolling or overcommitting. You'll often find pockets of time you can reclaim. 2. Start with 10 minutes. You don't need an hour. Seriously. Try a 10-minute meditation, a walk around the block, or even just breathing deeply without distractions. Consistency beats duration. 3. Set boundaries like a boss. Say it with me. No is a complete sentence. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you're saying no to your peace. Start small. Decline one commitment this week that doesn't serve you. 4. Schedule it. Treat self-care like a meeting. Block it out on your calendar. Label it. Honor it. If you don't plan for it, life will plan over it. 5. Stack it onto existing habits. Want to stretch more? Do it while brushing your teeth. Want to read more? Swap 10 minutes of scrolling before bed for a book. Piggybacking on habits makes it stick. Let me read a few short messages from our listeners who've made small changes and seen big impact. Maria, 29, from New York. I started journaling for 5 minutes every night before bed. It's helped me sleep better and process my thoughts instead of spiraling. Jameer, 41, from Austin. My self-care is taking a quiet walk with my dog every morning. It's become the highlight of my day. No phone, just nature. Sophie, 35, from Melbourne. I finally set boundaries with my work email. No checking after 7 p.m. My anxiety dropped by half. These aren't grand gestures. These are intentional shifts, and they matter. Here's something beautiful. The more you engage in self-care, the more you begin to trust yourself. You learn to recognize your needs. You become your own advocate. You stop waiting for permission to take up space or rest. You learn to say, I am worthy of care. Not because I've earned it, but because I exist. Self-care teaches you to slow down and listen. To your body, to your soul, to your truth. It reconnects you to your humanity in a world that keeps trying to make you a machine. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. What would change in your life if you committed to caring for yourself just a little more, starting today? Not next week, not when you have more time, but now. Here's your challenge. Choose one self-care practice. Do it consistently for 7 days. Keep it simple, keep it sacred, and if it feels right, journal about it. Observe how it changes your energy, your mood, your relationships. You matter, my friend. Your well-being matters. And the world needs more people who are rested, whole, and grounded in their truth. So, let's begin. Thanks for spending this time with me today. If this episode spoke to you, helped you, or simply reminded you to take a breath, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Drop a comment with your favorite self-care tip. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode. Until next time, take care of yourself. Seriously, you're doing better than you think. This is Teodor, signing off from MindShift Media. Stay grounded, stay kind.